Welcome back to TK International. Today we're going to take a trip to Georgia, not one in the state, but one in Europe. And we're going to see if it's safe or not for you to travel to Georgia. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, this is where you can find about real estate, traveling, hospitality, tourism, travel vlogs. In this video, we're going to find out if your next destination should be Georgia. Is it safe or not? We'll find out. We're telling you the 10 reasons. We are starting with the hardest topic in Georgia, which is the occupation of Georgia.
South Ossetia is one of two regions of Georgia that Russia took over in a war in 2008. But this summer, Russia took things a step further. It posted fresh border markers and laid claim to a mile-long section of a major US-backed BP-operated oil pipeline. So now, Russia has the capability to sabotage its operation anytime it wants to. Moscow now controls about a quarter of Georgia's total territory. They arrest anyone who strays across this new de facto border. Georgians are calling it the creeping occupation.
There's so many beautiful parts in Georgia. I would recommend staying in the specific areas of Georgia because sometimes the occupied soldiers do come bother the villagers and harass them, sometimes take them to the police station or question them just to make their life a little worse. But that only happens in the Russian occupied border area, just harass people. Imagine if you go to those areas, imagine like going to the Berlin Wall where you would see the Soviet side and the German side. You could see it. There's nothing going on, just patrolling. But besides that, you could just look at it if you want. But I wouldn't stay there overnight because you never know what would happen in that area. In Georgian control area, it's a lot safer than in those specific areas. Just imagine that you visited Berlin during Russian occupation of the Berlin.
Number 9, the police. Police presence are huge in Georgia, and they are a lot friendlier than you would see in US or in Europe. They will guide you to have a better understanding of the country because there is such a big police presence and see criminal activities in the country.
Asxuti. Ცენტრი ვარ. მუშნიალის ქუჩაზე აღმოჩენილია არასრულწლოვანი. უფლისების თანხლების გარეშე. სავარაუდოდ ბავშვი დაკარგულია, გადაამოწმეთ.
გასაგებია, გავდივარ.
Ას 14-108 ცენტრი ვარ. სავარაუდოდ ნაპოვნია დაკარგული მცირეწლოვანის დედა. უახლოესი ეკიპაჟი სასწრაფოდ გაემართოს შავთელის ქუჩაზე. 105 მცირეწლოვანი გადაადგილდება ჩრდილო-დასავლეთის მიმართულებით. იმოძრავეთ კვადრატში. ვიმეორებ, იმოძრავეთ კვადრატში. 105. გოგონა ნაპოვნია პუშკინის ქუჩაზე დაუჩქარეთ.
When it comes to Georgians doing any kind of crime, Georgians when they go out and do crime, enjoy the time with their family and friends, then commit a crime. There is 24-hour surveillance lens, and police is quick to respond if anything happened. There have been cases when elderly people call them to carry heavy items to move around the house.
Okay. 8. Nightlife.
Food. Georgians love food. If you love food, this country is for you. Georgians wake up thinking about food, and they go to bed dreaming about food.
Georgian food has a unique flavor. What I love the most, I like the excitement that it gives me. Eating the food, you almost feel the whole history of the country. It makes me feel good, some kind of satisfaction it brings.
Georgians were making wine 8,000 years ago.
We have something around 525 varieties.
In my opinion, Georgia is a capital of the world in terms of culture, hospitality, and tradition.
The best thing about this is the most food is organic and it comes from nearby villages all over Georgia. The only thing that is not safe about Georgia, food will make you fat. If you miss organic food and you don't have any organic food in your country, you must come to this country. Georgian food and wine culture is the best observed through Sutra. Traditional feast featuring a wide array of assortments of dishes, like large amount of wine, lasting for hours. Khikali khachapuri, svadi, ghomi, smoked sulguni, Gouda, chakapuli, and etc.
6. Transport. Trains, planes, metro, buses, taxis, cars. These are all the transportation that could be offered in Georgia for tourists to use. From Tbilisi, you could travel easily to Baku, Azerbaijan, and Yerevan as well with our brand new trains. Passenger trains are fast and usually they operate in a whole day, so it's easy to get around the country. There are also old trains. We would recommend to get tickets for the newer trains, even if it's more expensive, because it has free Wi-Fi, it's really clean and super safe. It's brand new and it has the new features for safety.
Welcome aboard. Railway is proud to introduce this new passenger train which meets international modern standards of safety and comfort. Please take your seats and stow your luggage in the designated baggage areas. Please note that smoking is not allowed on board this train. Free wireless internet.
All the transportation in Georgia and all the cars are inspected, so they could travel around the city with no problem and will not break down. Georgia also offers local flights, like from Tbilisi to Batumi or Tbilisi to Svaneti, Kutaisi as well, and many other cities in Georgia if you want to travel with a faster kind of transportation, and then taking the train for 6 hours or 4 hours. The taxis are really safe. If you leave any item, if they have the information, they will get in touch with you to get it back to you.
5. Car drivers. Warning, be careful every time you get in the car. It's all about people who are driving these cars. In Georgia, these are suggestions. They are not mandatory. If you see some cars on sidewalks, don't be surprised. Just be careful out there. Look both ways and up when you cross the street.
4. Auto stops. People are really nice. They will give you rides, but please offer them at least something because they're spending gas and gas is not that cheap in Georgia. So please be nice as well and give them at least something because Georgia is not a wealthy country yet. Please, and another recommendation that I could make for you is don't haggle too much. Maybe like in a market, if you're buying a tomato or something, you could haggle, but not when it comes to like a tour or something. It just looks really cheap and it just gives a bad representation of the country you're from. Like let's say you're from USA and you start haggling, like they know that you don't do that kind of stuff in USA. In Georgia they do it sometimes, but not all the time. If you learn about the market, then you know for sure from a Georgian that the price that they're telling you is too high, then it's right. But if you just making up numbers out of nowhere, then there's no backing behind the reason to haggle because they might just be telling you the right price right off the bat. They're not trying to sell you anything.
Number 3 is public service hall. Public service hall is a legal entity of public law, operation under the management of Minister of Justice. The majority of public services are presented here. Public service hall is super easy because everything is in one building, and it's super safe because it's official government institution. So it's safe because no one is hitting your lower fees and it's hard for you to get scammed.
Number 2, emergency services. There's only one number in Georgia that provides the emergency services. It's 112. By calling this number, you could summon firefighters, ambulances, and policemen to help you out with anything you need. Emergency services have great response time, and they're really effective in solving all the problems. For Georgian citizens, it's free to call the ambulance, but for people from other countries, they are non-Georgian citizens, you have to pay a really small amount that is nothing to compare to any other countries around Europe and US. Even in epidemic times, Georgian medical team managed to contain the situation a lot better than even all the major countries around the world. So if you get sick, you know you're in good hands.
And finally, our famous Georgian hospitality. And the number one reason why Georgia is safe is because of our culture. Georgians have a saying, guests are gifts from the God. Be ready to drink and eat a lot because a random Georgian will offer you to drink chai wine or dine with them just because you're a guest and tourist in Georgia.
Georgians are so nice. They will help you with the directions if you ask them. They will go out of their way to walk you to the store if you can't find it yourself. Georgians love bragging about how good they are with hospitality. And they're super famous too around Soviet Union. If you have any friends that are from Soviet Union and you ask them about Georgian hospitality, they will tell you one recommendation for you would be to be just open to the people and then enjoy the weather and the beautiful nature that Georgia has to offer. Enjoy your next travel to Georgia. Don't forget to like and subscribe this page if you want to see more journeys around the world with us. And all the other social media links are right in the description. See you next time.